Okay, dear students, welcome to the next session of the living world. Today we are going to discuss regarding the remaining categories of the taxonomical arrangement. In previous class we have discussed regarding the orders. Today we will discuss regarding the next category called as class. So what do you mean by class means? Class is the higher category than the orders, and it comprises of a group of orders which are closely related by showing some common similar characters between them. So class is a group of closely related orders. Class is a group of closely related orders. Let's see the examples of the class then. How it contains closely related orders. See, the organisms such as the monkey, gorilla, gibbon, and we, the human beings. So all these type of organisms belong to the order. Yes, anyone know what is the order of human being? Or to which order human beings and monkey, apes, gorilla, chimpanzee, orangutan belongs to? It is nothing but primata. So the order is primata. Okay, like that, organisms such as tiger, cat, along with a dog. So they belong to order which is called as carnivora, because they are the flesh-eating animals. So these organisms orders are different. Some of the organisms belongs to primata here, and some of the organisms are belong to the carnivora order, different orders. But the organisms under these two orders, as they share some common characteristic features, or as they possess some common characteristic features, so they belong to a common higher category that is called as class. So the organisms in the primata order and organisms in the carnivora order, both they belong to the one class. That class is called as Mammalia. Means the animals which belongs to the primata along with the animals which belongs to the carnivora, both are kept in the same class because they possess some common characteristic features. What are those common characteristic features? So the animals belong to the Mammalia. So mammals, such animals are called as mammals. Mammals possess certain characteristic features. What those characteristic features means? That is mammary. What do you mean by mammary here? Nothing but the presence of mammary glands for the production of milk in order to nourish the young ones or the baby. Along with that one, the external ear called as pinna, and presence of the external hairs or the hairs on the body. So instead of external, the hairs on body. So these are the common characteristic features which can be seen in the organisms of the order Primata as well as the Carnivora. So both of them belong to the common class, what it is called as Mammalia. Understood? That is in case of the order Primata and Carnivora, as they possess similar characters which belong to the common class called as Mammalia. Similarly, see the rabbits which belong to the order called as Logomorpha, and rats which belong to the order Rodentia. Similarly, the one more organism, that is bats, they belong to the order called as Chiroptera. So they also belong to, they will also belong to the same class, what is called as Mammalia. Means the Logomorpha, Rodentia, Chiroptera, they also belong to the Mammalia class only. Why? Because they will also show the presence of presence of pairs of mammary glands, and then external ear and body is covered by the hairs. So because of these common characteristic features, they belong to the higher category, the same higher category called as mammals. That is in case of the animals. In case of what is that one? The plants. The class names of the plants always ends with a suffix called as Phaeaceae or the Opsida. The class names of the plants ends with the suffix Phaeaceae or the Opsida. Let's see examples of them. That is, for example, Chlorophyceae, and similarly Bryopsida. These are the class names. So here the class names are either they will end with the Phaeaceae or the Opsida. Like that, the class names of the plants will be written. So this is regarding the next higher category than the order, that is class. Any doubt in this one, guys? If you have doubt means you can ask me personally. Now just make a note of these points. Okay guys, the next category, higher to the class, is called as phylum in case of animals. So what do you mean by phylum? How can you define phylum means? The phylum is the higher category or the higher taxonomic category in kingdom Animalia. So in kingdom Animalia, which is the higher category, means it should be lesser than that kingdom level, means the phylum. So what this phylum includes? So this phylum includes the many classes which are showing or having a certain similar or the common characteristic features. Let us understand this with examples. So here is the name of the classes given, as we are already familiar with these classes in the previous discussions in your 10th standard or the 9th standard. That is, class Pisces, which includes fishes, class Amphibia, which includes the frogs and toads, and class Reptilia, which includes reptiles such as the snake, crocodile, right, tortoise, and the aves, which includes the birds, Mammalia, which includes the all organisms which are having the mammary glands with the external ear called as pinna, and then the body covered with the hairs. So these are the 5 different classes to which the animals belongs, right? So these classes, as they show some common characteristic features. What are those common characteristic features? Means such as presence of notochord, at least in the embryonic stage. For example, when we were developing as embryo inside the mother womb, at the time we too had notochord, but later it got replaced with the vertebral columnus, right? Like at least in the embryonic stage, there will be a presence of notochord and a dorsal tubular nerve cord. Where the nerve cord is present, it is present on the dorsal side, means back side of the body. The back side of the body is called as dorsal side, and the front one is called as ventral side. So dorsally a present tubular nerve cord and the pharynx with perforated gill slits. For example, if you look at the fish, okay, so at the neck region, there will be a presence of openings, that is called as gill slits, in order to facilitate the exchange of gases in the form of dissolved oxygen, right, which is present in the water. Like that, at least in the embryonic stage. So all the organisms which belongs to these 5 classes will show the presence of perforated gill slits. Is it clear? So because of these common characters which are present among these 5 different classes, so they are included in a phylum, which is the next higher category than the classes, and the name of that phylum is, so which phylum we belongs to? It is called as Chordata. The next, they belong to a phylum which is called as Chordata. So under the phylum Chordata, you can find the presence of 5 classes. Those are nothing but the Pisces, Amphibia, means class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Apes, and class Mammalia, where the basic or the fundamental characteristic features which are present in that organism and common to all these means nothing but the presence of notochord, dorsal tubular nerve cord, and then presence of pharyngeal gill sheaths. And also, the one more also can be added, nothing but the post-anal tail. There will be a presence of tail or the fins in order to carry out the balance of the body. But in some of the highly developed organisms, this tail has disappeared. Okay. So this is regarding the discussion of the phylum. But in case of plants, in plants, the phylum is referred as division. In case of plants, the phylum is replaced with a word called division. Means while referring to the higher category than the class, which word will be used for denoting the next higher category in plants means that is called as division. So only, so either it can be called as phylum for the animals, for plants means it is called as division. So example of the division name in plants. So can you give example for the division name in the plants? Yes? Anyone? Can you give the example for the plants? Okay. And one more thing here. In plants, this category is called as division and ends with the suffix called phyta or suffix phyta. So here easily we can write the example for the division in the plants, that is Bryophyta. Bryophyta is the one division in the plants. So where it ends with the suffix called as phyta. Is it clear, guys? So in this way, in plants, this category is called as division, and always it ends with the suffix called as phyta. In case of animals, say for example, the chordata is representing the higher category in the animal kingdom. So hope you have understood the discussion of the phylum and as well as the division. Make a note of these points now. Later we will discuss regarding the other categories too. So the last and the highest taxonomical category in the taxonomical arrangement is nothing but kingdom. So what do you mean by kingdom means? It is the highest category in biological classification, including both plants as well as the animals. And what the kingdom means? It is a group of phyla of the animals or divisions of the plants with certain common characters. So all the phyla of animals and all the divisions of the plants with some common characteristic features belongs to the highest category called as kingdom. So all phyla of the animals which are showing some common characteristic features. What is the common characteristic feature? Means a lack of cell wall and a lack of a pigment called as chlorophyll. If the cell wall is not present or the cell wall is lacking and the pigment chlorophyll is also not present or lacking, means all such animals with these two characters belongs to a common highest category that is called as kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. It is also called as metazoa. It is also called as a metazoa. Metazoa. Similarly, all divisions of the plants with common characteristic features such as presence of a rigid cell wall and presence of chlorophyll pigment, all such plants are kept under higher category, which is called as kingdom Plantae, or kingdom Plantae can also be called as metaphyta. Metaphyta. So this is what the two higher kingdoms are present in the biological classification. Those are nothing but kingdom Animalia from the animals and kingdom Metaphyta or the kingdom Plantae for the all type of plants. So this is what the discussion regarding all the 7 categories of the taxonomical hierarchy or the taxonomical arrangement. Okay, this taxonomical hierarchy was given by Carolus Linnaeus, or that was introduced by the Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, but the Linnaean hierarchy was lacking 2 particular categories. So what are those? Let's discuss it. Before that, make a note of these points now. Okay guys, so as we got to know that there are 7 taxonomic categories are there in the taxonomical hierarchy, and we have discussed all of them with examples, right? See, so this is what the representation of the taxonomical hierarchy or the taxonomic categories in ascending order. When we write the taxonomical categories from species to the kingdom, that is species, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division, and then the kingdom. This, in this hierarchical arrangement, as the arrow marks are shown towards upper side, that is from species to the kingdom, this is called as ascending order. If you reverse the arrow marks means here, that will be the descending order. Remember that. And if you observe this here, in this taxonomical hierarchy or the hierarchical arrangement, as we go higher from species to the kingdom, when we move from species to the kingdom, what happens? The number of similarities or the common characters will decrease. Means among the members of the species or the individual organisms which belong to a particular species will share more similar characters than the members of the higher category. Under species level alli enagutte ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದಾವೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಸಿಮಿಲಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ದ such many species which share some common characters belongs to the genus means ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the individuals will share very less number of similarities compared to the individuals of the species or the previous level of taxa. Like that, as we go higher from species to the kingdom, number of similar or the common characters will decrease. Note down, it is very important point for the NEET as well as the CET examination. Means, what is the meaning of that one? Lower the taxa is to lower level ಇದೆ, more will be the common characters or the similarities among the members of that taxon. Means the member of the taxon called a species will share maximum similarities among them than the members of the other taxa. That is what the meaning of that sentence here. As we go higher from species to the kingdom, number of similarities or the common characters will decrease. Or as we move down from kingdom to the species, then what happens here? Number of similar characters will increase. Is it clear, guys? Okay. So this hierarchical system of writing the taxonomical categories was introduced by Linnaeus. But his system of writing the taxonomical hierarchy lacked 2 categories. What are those 2 categories? Means that is nothing but the phylum and family. In Linnaean system of writing the taxonomical hierarchy, 2 particular categories were missing or were lacked, nothing but the phylum and family. In Linnaean hierarchy, only 5 categories were there. Okay, and which two categories were missing there means that is family and as well as the phylum. So this is also very important one for the NEET. See, these 3 points are very important for the NEET examination, okay, not for the PU examination, NEET as well as the CET examination. Is it clear, guys? So make a note of these points now. And in NCERT textbook, a particular table is given which is representing, okay, the taxonomical hierarchy of some examples. Let's discuss about that also. Before that, make a note of these points now. See, this is what the list of some examples with the taxonomical hierarchy of the categories. That is very important one for the PU exam as well as the NEET and CET examination. See the series. First, the common name of the organisms. Here 4 different examples are given. That is man, housefly, mango, and then the wheat. See, biological names are the scientific name of these organisms. Scientific name of human beings are the man is, that is Homo sapiens. So here Homo is indicating the genus. So the genus name of the human being or the man is Homo. Similarly, you can also write the species, right? Species name of the human being is sapiens. To which family such human beings belongs to means the family name of human being is Hominidae. And the order to which the human belongs is Primata. And after the order, what is that? Next one is class. To which class the human beings belongs means that is Mammalia. And division is, phylum among the animals is, that is nothing but the phylum Chordata. But division for the plants. Next, one more example among the animal kingdom, that is housefly. Its scientific name or the biological name is Musca domestica. So, its genus name is Musca, and then the family is Mucidae, and it belongs to the order called as Diptera, and to which class it belongs to means that is class Insecta, and it belongs to the phylum called as phylum Arthropoda. Similarly, among the plants, the mango and the wheats are taken as examples. Scientific name of mango is Mangifera indica. So its genus name is Mangifera and species name is indica, and it belongs to the family called as Anacardiaceae, and its order is Sapindales, and then its class is Dicotyledonea. What do you mean by Dicotyledonea? If you break that seed means you will get 2 equal parts. That is called as dicotyledons. So Dicotyledonea is the class of the mango, and to which division it belongs means that is Angiospermae. Here they produce the seeds which are covered by means of the seed coat. And then the wheat, nothing but, so a wheat plant, its scientific name is Triticum aestivum, and its genus is Triticum, and it belongs to the family called as Poaceae, and its order is Poales, and it belongs to the class called as Monocotyledon or Monocotyledonea, and its division is Angiospermae. See, this chart or the table is very important for the NEET and CET exam as well as the PU examination. For example, in PU examination, you may be asked to write taxonomical hierarchy of housefly means you have to write this table only for the housefly. You have to write the name of the housefly, common name, its scientific name, genus, family, order, class, and then the phylum. Like that particular organism, taxonomical hierarchy will be asked for 3 marks in PUC or PU examination. But in case of CET and NEET, what happens? Instead of this representing or writing its genus name, so they will give it as option A, and instead of the sapindales, they will give it as option B, or instead of primata here, so they will give it as C, and instead of the Poaceae, they will give it as D. Then in the given table, what A, B, C and D represent? If you know that chart completely means So you can identify what A is representing, B is representing, C is representing, or the D is representing. Is it clear, guys? So this is how the NEET CET questions will be asked based on this the chart showing the taxonomical categories of these 4 different organisms. Hope you have enjoyed today's class. This is what the end of discussion of the taxonomic categories. Okay, so make a note of these points now, and remaining thing we will discuss in the next class. Thank you, guys.